Welcome to State Engineering Service Examination section of Winds of Change. In this, we will cover so many questions of objective types for State Engineering Service Examination as well as for SSCJ examination also. If you find any difficulty, any problem, mail me at windsofchange2020@gmail.com. If you find this video suitable for you, you may like this video and comment for any feedback. And to download the study material, you may download our app of Winds of Change from the Google Play Store. Welcome to 120 questions of highway and traffic engineering. This is second video in the continuation of 120 questions of highway and traffic engineering. In this video, we will cover question number 31 to 60. So let's begin. First question, that is 31st question. For design, that length of transition curve should be taken which is based on allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration or based on rate of change of super elevation or higher of these A and B or smaller of these A and B. Just think about it. For length of the transition curve in the design, we will take the higher of the values of whatever criteria we are having. So let's discuss all the criteria and the answer will be higher of A and B here, that is option C will be the correct one. Now what are the criteria that will decide the transition curve, the length of the transition curve? First of all, it must be based on the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. You will be having formula for that. Based on rate of change of super elevation and extra widening, and based on the IRC empirical formula. These are the three criteria on which we will decide the length of the transition curve. Okay, so we will adopt the higher value in these three. Okay, so moving on to next question. When the speed of the traffic flow becomes 0, then the traffic density attains maximum value where traffic volume becomes 0, or traffic density and traffic volume both attain maximum value at the case in which the speed of the traffic flow becomes 0, or traffic density and traffic volume both becomes 0, or traffic density becomes 0 whereas traffic volume attains the maximum value. Just think about it. If the speed becomes 0, that is the condition of the jam density. We all know that. And what is jam density? Jam density is the maximum density that can be achieved. So first of all, we should be sure here that in that case in which the speed is 0, then traffic density will be maximum. Now come to the traffic volume. Now traffic volume will be, at that time it will be 0 because there is no flow of the traffic. Okay, so that is why the answer A will be the correct answer. That is option A will be correct. Got the concept here? You can watch it here also. We have explained it in the video of revision of traffic engineering. Here you can find out that with increase in the space mean speed, the density will decrease. When speed is maximum, that is the free flow velocity, at that time density will be 0, while when the speed becomes 0, which was our case in the question, this becomes the jam density, this becomes the maximum density. Okay. And the second case which was asked in the question with respect to speed and volume, when speed becomes 0, you can see here that volume also becomes 0. Okay, so we have already explained it. Let's move to the next question. Percentage of the free carbon in bitumen is more than that in tar, less than that in tar, equal to that in tar, or none of the above. We are talking about the percentage of free carbon in bitumen, which will be having more amount of carbon, either bitumen or tar, or equal. Just think about it. It will be option B, that is bitumen will be having less percentage of carbon than the tar. Okay, option B will be the correct answer. There are few differences between bitumen and tar that has to be memorized, and that we have kept it here, in which this point is the free carbon content is less as compared to the tar in bitumen, and free carbon content is more and is detected by solubility test in case of the tar. Okay, so this is important. You can also watch the other differences. I am moving further. Next question, camber in the road is provided for effective drainage, counteracting the centrifugal force, having proper side distance, or none of the above. Just think about it. Why we provide the camber in the road? The camber that has to be provided will be for the purpose of the effective drainage. Okay, option A will be the correct answer. Now why it is so? Let's find the other options. Counteracting the centrifugal force. For that we will provide the super elevation. Having proper site distance, we will provide obviously SSD. Only the condition will be here which will be suitable, that is the camber is provided for the effective drainage. We will provide camber for the case of the effective drainage. You can see here the value of the camber for different type of surface, like for cement concrete surface in case of the heavy rainfall we are having the range of camber as 2%, for thin bituminous surface it is 2.5%, for WBM it is 3%, and for earthen road it is 4%. These values are very important which I am telling you, these please memorize it. It is very important to memorize. Next question. If ruling gradient is 1 in 20 and there is also horizontal curve of radius 75 meter, then the compensated grade should be 3%, 4%, 5% or 6%. What is the criteria for grade compensation? Can you recall it? The criteria for grade compensation that has to be provided. Just think about it and you can solve it. I'm telling you how to solve it. Answer will be 4%, and how it is obtained, let's find it out. First of all, in the question, the given is ruling gradient as 1 in 20. It is being given that ruling gradient is 1 in 20, which is 5%. Now, what IRC suggests that a grade compensation of 30 plus R by R, this should be 30 plus R in the bracket, 30 plus R by R, maximum 75 by R has to be provided for grade more than 4%. If the gradient is less than or equal to 4%, then there is no provision of grade compensation. But since here it is more than 4%, that is 5%, so we will provide a grade compensation here. Now grade compensation is equal to 30 plus R by R. So in first case it will become 105 by 75. Since R is 75, we have seen here radius is given 75 meter. So this will be 1.4%, and maximum grade compensation, that is 75 by 5, which is being given here, it is 1%. So we cannot go beyond 1%. 1.4% is more than 1%. So obviously we will adopt 1% here. So compensated gradient will become 5 minus 1, that is 4%. Okay, if this maximum grade compensation has been more than this 1.4, then obviously we will adopt the 1.4 value. Okay, so here the grade compensation will become 4%, that is answer B. Okay, next question. The maximum limit of the water absorption for aggregate suitable for road construction is 0.4%, 0.6%, 0.8% or 1%. Think about it. For the construction of the road, the water absorption value, that has to be very less, but what it will be? Think about it. It will be option B, that is 0.6%. Okay, these are the recommended value. Water absorption shall not be more than 0.6% unit by weight. Okay, these are the recommended value of the specific gravity and water absorption for aggregate. Specific gravity range has to lie from 2.5 to 3 with an average of about 2.68. Okay, so these terms are important, these values are important, these has to be memorized. Next question, the critical combination of stresses for corner region of cement concrete road is load stress plus warping stress plus frictional stress, or warping stress plus frictional stress, or load stress plus warping stress, or load stress plus frictional stress. Here we are talking about the corner region of the cement concrete road. In the corner region, what will be the critical combination? There will be critical combination in both summer and winter condition or day and night condition. It will change, but mainly in the corner region, there can only be one possibility of the answer in this, and why it is so, I am going to tell you. In the corner region of the cement concrete road, we do not take the frictional stress. Okay, only there will be two stresses that will be acting, that is the load stress, that is obvious, minimum load stress that will be applied, and a warping stress also occur because there will be change in the shape because of the change of the temperature. So these two stresses will come into the picture. So option C will be the correct answer here. In the corner region, there are no frictional stress. The critical combination occurs at top fiber of the slab during midnight. Okay, so it will be load stress plus warping stress at the corner region. Next question. The most suitable equipment for compacting clay soil is a smooth field roller, pneumatic tire roller, or sheep foot roller or vibrator. Think about it. For the clay soil, we have already discussed this question in the soil mechanics question practice. Here we are also adopting this question because it is also related to highway engineering also. Think about it. For clay soil, we will adopt sheep foot roller. Option C will be the correct answer. Sheep foot roller looks like this. There will be some kneading action that will be provided by sheep foot roller. that is why we adopt it. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is considered to be the highest quality construction in the group of blacktop pavement? Mastic asphalt, sheet asphalt, bitumen carpet or bitumen concrete? We are talking about the highest quality of construction. Okay, highest quality of construction in group of blacktop pavement. In which one will be having? Mastic asphalt, sheet asphalt, bitumen carpet or bitumen concrete? Think about it. The answer that has to be adopted here will be option D, that is bitumen concrete. Bitumen concrete is used as the surface course. Okay, the topmost layer is of bituminous concrete usually we provide because it can bear a high level of abrasion resistance. For that property, since there will be a higher case of skidding as well as the slipping of the tires on the surface course, so here we will need a surface material which can withstand a high level of abrasion. So that is why we adopt bituminous concrete blacktop. Okay. Next question. When two equally important roads cross roughly at right angle, the suitable shape of central island is circular, elliptical, tangent or turbine. Think about it. When the roads cross at right angle, okay, one road will be like this, other road will be like this. So we have to adopt a central island like this. So it will be of the shape of adopted as circular. Okay, option A will be the correct answer because since both are at the right angle to each other. So we will adopt the circular shape of central island. Okay. Next question. Equivalent factor of the passenger car unit for a passenger car as per IRC is 1, 2.0, 0.5 or 10. This is very easy question. We all know the passenger car unit, the base value or the quantum value is already the passenger car. So the answer will be option A, that is 1.0. 1 is for passenger car. We have already explained about it in the revision of traffic engineering. You can watch this video from the link in the description box, or you may download our app also where everything is available as well as the notes of these also available. So passenger car unit for passenger car is 1, for bus truck it is 3, for motorcycle, scooter or cycle it is 0.5, cycle rickshaw it is 1.5 and horse driven vehicle it is 4 and bullock car type of vehicle it is 6. We should memorize it, it is also important. Next question. RC2, MC2 and SC2 corresponds to same viscosity, viscosity in increasing order from RC2 to SC2, or viscosity in decreasing order from RC2 to SC2, or none of the above. Just think about it. What will be the answer? This is also an important question. In this case, since this value 2, this represents the viscosity, level of the viscosity. So obviously it will be having the same viscosity. All these three having the same viscosity. In case RC1, RC2, RC3, RC4, in this way, it is the order of the increasing viscosity. Okay, means RC1 will be having the lowest viscosity and RC4 will be having the highest viscosity. Now in MC1, MC2, MC3, MC4, this is also in the increasing order. Okay, but this RC2 and MC2 will be having the same viscosity as well as this SC2 also. Okay, it will be also in the increasing level. Okay, and what is this RC, MC? Since you have got the 2, 3, 4 as a viscosity level, RC is rapid curing, MC is the medium curing and SC is the slow curing. Okay, so I have explained about it in the video of revision of highway material and pavement design. You can watch it there from the link in the description box. This video is very important for your revision point of purpose. Here we have explained the RC, MC and SC cutback bitumens. Next question. The function of an expansion joint in rigid pavement is to relieve warping stresses, relieve shrinkage stresses, resist stresses due to expansion or allow free expansion. Think about it. Why we provide the expansion joint in rigid pavement? This is very easy question. We will provide the expansion joint so that what we can do, there is a possibility of the expansion in the rigid pavement. This is obvious. Concrete expands while in case of the temperature stresses that will act. In that case also with increase in temperature the concrete expands. At that time we need some free expansion in the concrete. So to allow the free expansion, that is option D, we will provide expansion joints. Okay. These are being provided, expansion joints are being provided to allow free expansion. Okay, expansion joint are provided along the transverse direction to allow movement, that is expansion or contraction of concrete slab due to temperature and subgrade moisture vibration. Got it? This is like the expansion joint, in which this is the expansion gap that has to be provided, maximum value is 25 mm, and this is the dowel bar that will be provided in between the units, in which one unit will be embedded and another one will be having a possibility of movement. Okay, so this is also important. Next question. The diagram which shows the appropriate path of vehicles and pedestrian involved in accident is known as spot map, pie chart, condition diagram, or collision diagram. Think about it. Here we are talking about the path of vehicles and pedestrian involved in accident. What is that called? So that will be called as collision diagram. Okay, answer will be option D. Collision diagram is the one which represents the path of vehicles and pedestrian involved in accident. It is also being explained in the video of revision of traffic engineering. Next question. Which of the following is known as design capacity? Basic capacity, theoretical capacity, possible capacity, or practical capacity? Think about it. It will be basic capacity. That is option A is correct. We have explained all these capacities in the video of revision of traffic engineering only. You can watch it there. Here we are explaining the basic capacity. It is the maximum number of vehicles that can pass a given point on a lane or roadway during 1 hour under the ideal roadway and traffic condition that can possibly be attained. Okay. Formula for this basic capacity is 1000 V by S, where V is the speed in km per hour and S is the average spacing of the vehicle, that is space headway. Okay, so this is the basic capacity which will be known as the design capacity. Okay. Next question. N-scope is used to find average speed, spot speed, space mean speed, or time mean speed. What will be the answer? N-scope is used to find the instantaneous speed, that is at that time what will be the speed of the vehicle at which we are taking the observation. So it will be spot speed, that is option B will be the correct one. Okay, this is the process of the N-scope that is being given here. N-scope is placed at one end and the observer will stand at the other end. He could see the vehicle passing the farther end through N-scope and start the stopwatch whenever it passes, and then he stops the stopwatch when the vehicle passes in front of him. Now this is very easy. Let's say this is the observer standing here, and now first of all he find out that from here when this vehicle will pass, he will start the stopwatch, and in the second moment when vehicle reaches here, he will stop the stopwatch, and the time is recorded for this vehicle from A point to B point, and we already know the distance between these points, so obviously we will be easily finding out the speed of the vehicle. Okay. Next question. If an ascending gradient of 1 in 50 meets the descending gradient of 1 in 50, the length of the summit curve for the stopping side distance of 80 meter will be 50 meter, 70 meter, 80 meter, or 60 meter. This is directly formula based question. We should solve this question directly because this is very easy question. You just know the formula of length of summit curve, then you can solve it. Think about it. You can use your notebook also. I'm going to tell you how to solve it. In this question, it is being given that the ascending gradient of 1 in 50 meets the descending gradient of 1 in 50. So this is 1 in 50 and this is minus 1 in 50. So the formula that will be used, that is ns square upon 4.4. Let's assume that the length that will be obtained will be more than SST. Then in that case, this n value, it will be n1 minus n2. So it will be 1 minus 1 upon 50 minus of 1 upon 50. So it will be 2 upon 50, that is 1 upon 25, that will be 0.04. Now this length is ns square upon 4.4. So this value will be obtained where s, that is SST, is kept as 80. So it is 58.18 meter. Now we have observed here that since we have adopted L as more than SST, but since L that is obtained 58.18, which is less than SST, that is 80 meter. So we will go for length less than SST formula, which is given by 2s minus 4.4 upon n. Now in this case, it will be 2 into 80 minus 4.4 upon n, that is 4.4 into 25. So the answer that will be 50 meter. Okay. So option A will be the correct answer, that is 50 meter will be the correct answer. About these formulas of summit curve and valley curve, we have explained it in the video of highway geometric design. You can watch it from the link in the description box. Next question. The attainment of super elevation by rotation of pavement about the inner edge of the pavement. In this question, it is being asked that super elevation is achieved by the rotation about inner edge of pavement. This will be preferable in steep terrain or results in balancing the earthwork, or it avoids the drainage problem in flat terrain, or it does not change the vertical alignment of road. Just think about it. What will be the answer? Why we adopt this rotation about inner edge? This process for attaining the super elevation. We can adopt the process of rotating about center line also. So this process is adopted so that we can avoid the problem of drainage. That is option C will be the correct answer. You can watch it here. We have explained it in the video of highway geometric design, in which you can see here that if it is rotated about the center, then you can see their inner point, that is inner corner, will be getting little lower than the normal ground surface level, while the outer edge will be having higher level. So in this case there will be problem of drainage in the inner side of the road, while in case when we will rotate it from the inner edge, there will not be that problem of drainage because this level is at the ground level. Okay, inner edge will be at the ground level. That is why we adopt it. Next question. The ruling design speed of national highway in plain terrain as per IRC recommendation is 60 kmph, 80 kmph, 100 kmph or 120 kmph. Think about it. Very easy question. For national highway in plain terrain, the value adopted will be 100 kmph. That is option C will be correct. This is the ruling design speed for NH and SS, that is national highway and state highway, that is 100. Other values that are given here, we should memorize those also. For MDR 80, ODR 65 and village road 50. Next question. The transition curve used in the horizontal alignment of highways as per IRC recommendation is spiral, lemniscate, cubic parabola or any of the above. In case of the transition curve on horizontal alignment of highway, in this case we will adopt which type of the transition curve? Think about it, spiral or lemniscate or cubic parabola. The answer will be spiral. Okay, we will adopt the spiral case in case of transition curve. This is important, we should memorize it. Next question. The wall which are necessary on the hill side of the roadway where earth has to be retained from the slipping is known as retaining wall, breast wall, parapet wall or none of the above. Think about it. On the hill side of the roadway, we have to retain the earth, that is the mountainous terrain. In that case, it is being called as breast wall. You can see here, this is the breast wall, this is mountain, this is hillside, hill slope, and here we will provide the breast wall. At the valley side, we will provide the retaining wall. Okay, so definition of these two has to be kept in mind in case of the hill roads. This is retaining wall, this is breast wall. Breast wall at the side of the mountain and retaining wall at the side of the valley. Next question. The absolute minimum radius of the curve for safe operation of speed of 110 kmph is 110 meter, 220 meter, 440 meter or 577 meter. Here we are talking about the absolute minimum radius of curve. Solve it. Use your notebook. Here it will be option C, that is 440 meter. Now how it is obtained? Use the formula of E plus F equal to V square upon 127R. We will take all the maximum values of it. E value will be 0.07, F value will be 0.15, so it will become 0.22. Now we will adopt the value of V as kmph, that is 110, and divided by 127 into 0.22. So answer will be 433 meter, which is closer to the answer of C, that is 440 meter. Okay, so we will adopt the answer as 440 meter here. And obviously we have to go for higher side, that is 440 meter is more than 433. Next question. For the design of super elevation for mixed traffic condition, the speed is reduced by 15%, 20%, 25% or 75%. Think about it. In case of the mixed traffic condition, the speed will be reduced by, in case of the design of super elevation for mixed traffic condition, if we design super elevation, then the speed will be reduced by, in that case we will adopt the value of 0.75 V. Okay, For if we adopt 0.75V, then this speed is reduced by 25%. So option C will be the correct answer. Don't go for 75%. It is being asked that speed is reduced by. So speed is reduced by 25%. And what will be the speed? If they ask that, then it will be 75%. Okay. Next question. If the average center to center spacing of vehicle is 20 meters, then the basic capacity of a traffic lane at speed of 50 kmph is 2500 vehicle per hour, 2000 vehicle per hour, 2500 vehicle per hour, or 1000 vehicle per hour. This is not so tough question. We have already seen the basic capacity formula in one of the question previously. Can you recall the formula? The formula was 1000 V by S. Use that formula and let's obtain the answer. It will be option C, that is 2500 vehicle per hour. How it is being obtained? 1000 V by S, 1000 into velocity is 50 kmph and center to center spacing is 20 meter. So 1000 into 50 upon 20, it will be 2500 vehicles per hour. Okay, this will be the answer, that is option C will be the answer. Next question. Bottommost layer of the pavement is known as wearing course, base course, sub-base course or subgrade. Think about it. Very easy question. You just know the layers of pavement. Here it will be subgrade. The bottommost layer is subgrade. Above it we will be having sub-base course, base course, binder course as well as surface course. Okay. So we should memorize it, the sequence of it, and I think this is very easy question. So you all know about it. Next question. In case of hill roads, the extra widening is generally provided equally on the inner and outer side of the curve, fully on the inner side of the curve, fully on the outer side of the curve, or 1/4 on inner side and 3/4 on the outer side of the curve. Now we are talking about the case of hill roads. If it is being provided on the plain terrain, so we will adopt equally on the inner and outer side of the curve. But this is the case of the hill road. So what will be the answer? Just think about it. For the provision of the safety, we will adopt it on the inner side of the curve. We will adopt it on the fully on the inner side of the curve. Okay, so answer will be option B. Next question. Select the correct statement. More the value of the group index, less thickness of the pavement will be required. More the value of the CBR, greater thickness of the pavement will be required. Or minimum and maximum values of the group index can be 0 to 20 respectively, or all of the above. What will be the answer? Just think about it. We have already discussed these things in the previous video, in the video of 1 to 30 questions. In that we have discussed in one question group index and one question CBR also. So answer will be option C, that is minimum and maximum value of the group index can be 0 and 20 respectively. While these two statements are not correct, why it is so? First of all, let's see this statement. More the value of the group index, less thickness of the pavement will be required, which is just reverse to it. If we are having more value of the group index, then it will be of the lower grade. Less value of the group index, that means it is of the subgrade will be of the good quality. 0 means it is the best quality, 20 means the worst quality. Okay, so with increase the value of the group index, there will be more thickness of the pavement that will be required. Okay, and in case of the CBR, greater thickness of pavement will be required if the CBR value is more, which is also incorrect. With increase in the CBR value, the subgrade property will be higher. That means there will be less thickness that will be required. Okay, so more the value of the CBR, less thickness of the pavement will be required. That will be the answer. So here only the statement C will be correct. Group index value can vary from 0 to 20 only. Next question. The number of the repetitions which the pavement thickness designed for a given wheel load should be able to support during the life of pavement is 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh or 10 lakh. The number of the repetition which the pavement thickness designed for. Think about it. What will be the answer? It will be 10 lakh. That is option D will be correct. And we should memorize it. There is nothing else to think about it. We should memorize it. That is, it is 10 lakh. Number of the repetition is 10 lakh adopted. Next question. The maximum design gradient for vertical profile of the road is ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient or minimum gradient. The maximum design gradient, think about it. if we are designing for a vertical profile of road, then the maximum gradient, maximum design gradient that can be provided, it will be ruling gradient only. Usually in case of the vertical profile of the road, if we are working, then we will provide the maximum value as ruling gradient. That is, usually it is 1 in 20 or something. But in case of the hilly terrain, in the design in which there is a very worse criteria that we cannot adopt the ruling gradient, then we will go for the limiting gradient or exceptional gradient also. So here the answer will be ruling gradient only. Okay. Next question, that is last question of this video. In highway construction on super elevated curve, the rolling shall proceed from. In case of the highway construction on super elevated road, we are talking about the super elevated roads. Here the rolling will proceed from side towards the center, or center towards the sides, or lower edge towards the upper edge, or upper edge towards the lower edge. Just think about it. This question is also important for the purpose of the construction of the highway at the horizontal curves where super elevation is provided. It will be option C, that is from the lower edge towards the upper edge. You can see the provision of the super elevated curve here. This is the transition curve at which super elevation is being achieved. Now if we go for the compaction, then first of all we will do the compaction at the lower edges and then we will proceed towards the upper edges, okay, in this direction. So first of all lower edge towards the upper edge. So answer C will be the correct answer. So we will finish here at 60th question. In the next video we will come up with question number 61 to 90. Till that, subscribe to this channel and stay updated. And download the app of Winds of Change for every notes as well as the latest videos.